people, it's me, Anja. Welcome back to my channel, Labbit. So, since school is going to be starting up again in a few weeks, I'm sure a few of you are probably wondering how I'm going to maintain my twice-a-week uploads when school is in session. So, I'm currently filming a month in advance. Like, right now, it's not even July for me, it's the end of June. So, I'm going to, maintain filming a month in advance. So, all my videos that will be going up in September were filmed in August. All my videos for October are going to be filmed in September, and so on and so forth. So just keep that in mind. So yeah. Anyway, the first book on this list is called Things I Should Have Known. This is a YA contemporary book, and it follows Chloe, who is 17 years old and she's very popular, and she decides that her older sister Ivy, who's autistic, should use a boyfriend. So she sets out this plan to get Ivy a boyfriend. I really like this story much more than I was expecting to. It's only in Chloe's perspective, so it's showing Ivy's autism from a neurotypical perspective. And don't get me wrong, I love that, but I think that I would have preferred this entire book if it was in Ivy's perspective, just because we all know this, autistic people are underrepresented. And as a person who's on the spectrum, I think it's really important to, if you have an autistic character, to show the story in their perspective. Because honestly, the amount of people whom I've read about that are neurotypical is just astronomical. And the amount of people that I've read about that are autistic is so little. So this story would have been much better if it was in Ivy's perspective. But overall, it was a good story. I liked the sister relationship. I liked Ivy and Chloe as their individual characters. It was a good story, and I ended up rating it 4 stars. I just wish that it had been in Ivy's perspective, but I'm not docking Chloe's. The next book is called Winterborn: Home for Vengeance and Valour, written by Ali Carter. This is a middle grade mystery. It's kind of like if Truly Devious and the Westing game had a baby together, it would be this book. I don't really want to explain the synopsis because I don't really know how, and I don't really want to spoil anything. Basically, this book was really good. I rated it 4 stars. It follows April, who is our protagonist, and she is just a wonderful character. She's kind of like a misfit character, and all of the other main characters are also misfits. They're kind of this ragtag crew. They're all foster children, and they were all brought into the Winterborn home. And so yeah, that's the premise. I don't really want to explain anything more because, again, I don't want to spoil it. But it had an action-packed, fast-paced plot. Some things at the end were a little bit too convenient, but it's middle grade, so I'll cut it some slack. And like I said, the cast of characters is pretty, a diverse, eclectic gang. I really liked it. And I'm really excited to read the sequel because I honestly don't know where Ali could take it. And that's what I really want when I'm eagerly anticipating a sequel, when you have no idea, absolutely none, where Ali, the author, is going to take the plot or the characters or anything at all. So yeah, this book was really good. The next book is called The Sullivans Sisters, written by Kathryn Ormsbee. This follows 3 distant sisters, Murphy, Claire, and Eileen, when they're forced to band together after they receive a letter informing them of an uncle that they never heard of before and an inheritance. So they have to deal with that. I liked this book. I ended up rating it 3.5 stars because I really liked the sister relationship, and I liked the 3 different perspectives. There was never a point in time where I felt one of the sisters' perspectives was unnecessary. I like that all 3 of them weaved together well, and I like the mystery element. However, I think that all that build-up wasn't worth what happened in the end. I was kind of expecting something more. I don't know. I like that the focus of the story was really more about the sisters and their bond than the mystery, but I kind of wanted more from the mystery. So anyway, I ended up rating this book 3.5 stars. So the next book I read is called A Sky Painted Gold, written by Laura Wood. This follows Lou, and she's introduced to the high society and the glamours and the secrets by her summer neighbors, and it's set in 1929, which is possibly my favorite part of this book. I didn't like this book as much as I was hoping to, because honestly it felt like I was reading a Great Gatsby knockoff, and I really liked the Great Gatsby. So maybe that's it. Anyway, also, I didn't really like Lou as a character. I kind of felt like she was a little bit too wishy-washy, and maybe it's because every time I read Lou, I thought of Lou from Serpent and Dove, and I really didn't like that book either. So I rated this book 3 stars. The atmosphere and the time that it's set in keeps it from like lowering my rating, because overall, aside from the atmosphere and the time period, I wouldn't recommend this book at all. 1929 is a very like atmospheric time period, and maybe it's just like that Roaring 20s is obviously a lot better than 2020 right now. So maybe that's it. Anyway, I didn't like this book. I don't want to waste any more time talking about it because I didn't like it. It's a no for me. It's an oof for me. No ma'am. The next book that I read is called The Divinyls, written by Libba Bray. This book is a YA paranormal thriller historical fiction. If you haven't heard of it already, I don't know where you've been, honestly, because it is so popular. And honestly, I think that this one is not worth its hype. So if you didn't know, it follows Evie, and she's living with her uncle now because her parents sent her to live there, and she's helping him solve this like murder mystery, because like people are dying. That's what a murder mystery is. Anyway, and Evie has this like super power sort of thing where she can read objects and like see where they've been. Like she can like touch something and see like where it last was, which really helps because like if she touches something that belongs like to the murderer, she can see like who it is, where it's been, like where they're gonna go next and stuff like that. So this book was good. I liked it. I liked the fast-paced, action-packed plot. I was a little bit confused at first by some of the characters' perspectives, because like since Evie is the main character, every time I read a different character's perspective, I would ask myself, okay, how is this person connected to Evie? And sometimes I felt like that connection was like revealed a little bit later on in the book, where it should have been revealed earlier. But anyway, I ended up rating this book 3.5 stars. It was good, it was solid. I don't really think that this book is worth its hype, but it was good, and I did want to continue the series when I finished this book. So the last book I read is called Lair of Dreams, written by Libba Bray. If you didn't know, this is the sequel to The Divinyls. I really like this book, and now I understand the hype. I ended up rating this book 4 stars. Now that the world has been established and the characters have been established, and with the Divinyls, I didn't really feel connected to any of the characters until like the last third of the book. But like with this one, like with all the character development and all the romance and all of the everything, I really enjoyed it. And Libba did such a great job of balancing everything. Now, there was never a point in time where I felt like she had too much on her plate. Like, it was so good, and I just really liked it. It was just so good. I loved the diversity of the characters. It was just so good. I'm so excited for the 3rd one and the 4th one, and now I'm more excited for the 2 sequels than I was to read this one. I understand the hype, and I'm so glad to be on this train of the Divinyls series. And the 1920s in New York is such a wonderful setting. It's so atmospheric, and it's so wonderful, and it's just so good, and I'm so glad that I'm reading this book. So overall, in conclusion, the best book that I read in this list was Lair of Dreams, and the worst book that I read was definitely A Sky Painted Gold. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, comment down below if any of these books interested you. If you've read any of them, let me know what you think. Subscribe if you're new, and thanks for watching. See you next time.